past clemency actions you were talking about, it seemed like most of the time the recipients were nonviolent, drug offenders, low-level drug crimes. There were a couple recipients here, though. I mean, a judge who participated in a scheme that sent juveniles to for-profit jails, Medicare fraud, real estate fraud. I guess what I'm wondering is, was the crime that was committed also part of the criteria here? Or was it the mere fact where if you were somebody on home confinement, despite the crime you committed, but just the fact that you were on home confinement, you received a commutation?
So there are two different things, right? There is the 1,500 folks who were placed on home confinement during COVID. Okay, I didn't know because those are commutation, right? So I didn't know.
Those are commutations.
Okay,
right.
So you were saying pardon, so I just wanted to make sure that.
To clarify, those examples I listed are part of the 1,500.
Okay, because as you know, there were 39 people who were pardoned. So two different things. I just want to make sure we were on the same page. So this is definitely related to the home confinement for COVID. Let's not forget there was the CARE Act of 2020, right? This is all connected certainly to that, and those are the individuals who had home confinement and they successfully reintegrated into their families, into their communities, and that's the group of people, that category, if you will, that we were looking at.
But like if just the fact that they were on home confinement, they received a commutation here.
No.
Did you factor in any, in the process, do you also factor in the individual cases and the individual
Well, I think what's important is that they were successfully able to reintegrate into their communities and back into their families, right? They showed that having a second chance is something that they should be given, right? And so that is what's important, that let's not forget that the successfully reintegrating, and I think that's a huge factor. That matters as well. The home confinement, obviously, that's the category that they were in during that CARE Act of 2020. As you know, there was a decision because of the COVID-19 pandemic to move forward back in 2020 before the president was obviously in office. And these folks, this 1,500 that we're talking about, the nearly 1,500, were able to successfully reintegrate. And I think that's a criteria that we can't forget, and that's a criteria that's incredibly important here as the president made his decision.
And to follow up on, I think, Kelly's question, I know you don't want to go step by step in the process, but can we say accurately that the president looked at any of these applications?
What I can say is this president made this decision. This is the president that made the decision to move forward on this.
What was his involvement, though? Did they present him the applications?
I mean, obviously the president was presented from his team granting the clemency, right, of these approximately 1,500 Americans and also the 39 that he pardoned. He was presented that by his team, and he made the decision. This would not have happened. We cannot forget, this would not have happened if the president didn't sign off on it, if the president didn't decide to move forward. And we can't forget what the president has done. We're talking about, let's not forget the past. Yes, we're talking about today, but we can't forget the president has also done 122 commutations, 21 pardons before this. We can't forget that the president issued categorical pardons for LGBTQ plus service members convicted because of their sexual orientation or identity, gender identity, and individuals charged with simply possession of marijuana. And he just did that back in April. So the president has certainly taken action to show the importance of giving Americans second chances, and this is a continuation. This is not just a one-day thing. This is a continuation of the president taking clemency and giving people second chances very, very seriously, and understanding how much that means to families and certainly communities.